Hi, fifth graders. Tonight you're going to be working on lesson 2-4. Use strategies to add decimals. The I can statement is I can add decimals to hundredths using partial sums. Pause the video now to write both the lesson number and the title in your notebooks, as well as the new I can statement. Push play when you are ready to continue. Here's tonight's problem. Mr. Davidson has 2 sacks of potatoes. The first sack weighs 11 39 pounds. The second sack weighs 14 27 pounds. How many pounds of potatoes does Mr. Davidson have in all? Solve this problem any way you choose. Before you get to solving, I want us to go through cubes first. Let's go ahead and circle the numbers. Next, U for underline the question. The question is, how many pounds of potatoes does Mr. Davidson have in all? Next, let's box the keywords. I know this problem is asking me to solve how many potatoes Mr. Davidson has in all, and that tells me I'm going to be adding them together. As I evaluate, I want to think really about what the problem's asking me and visualize it in my head. I see in front of me the 2 pounds of potato, or the 2 bags of potatoes Mr. Davidson has. It tells me how much they weigh, and now we want to figure out how much he has altogether. So I want to add both those weights together. Push pause now on the video to solve this problem any way you'd like. After you're done solving, push play to see how I solved it. Okay, coming back to solve it, I'm thinking about the I can statement. It wants me to use partial sums. That is something that is new to me, but I think I might as well give it a shot because maybe it's a strategy that I will find easier than other strategies I've learned before. So first I'm going to write 11 39 plus 14 27. By using partial sums, I'm going to be adding place values one at a time. I'm going to start with the hundredths column. I know 9 plus 7 equals 16 hundredths. So I'm going to keep that in my place value in that area first. Next, I'm going to be adding the tenths. I'm going to bring down my decimal point, only adding the tenths. I have 5 tenths. Next, I'm going to be adding my ones place, bringing my decimal down. 1 plus 4 equals 5 ones. Next, I'm going to be adding the tens column. 110 plus 110 equals 2 tens. Oh, sorry, I should have brought that down here. 2 tens. Now I'm going to add all my place values together. I could put zeros in the places to hold place values since 0 does not change the value of the number. That might help keep me organized better. So 6 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 6. 1 plus 5 is 6. I'm going to bring down my decimal point. 5 plus 0 is 5. And then I have 2 in my tens column, making my answer 25 66 hundredths pounds of potatoes. Now let's see the work of other students. Sherry's work looks a lot like mine. She must have tried partial sums as well. You could tell that she started with the tens column, the hundredths column first, then went to the tenths column, then went to the ones, and then the tens, getting the same answer of 25 66 hundredths. The last question asks, could she have started with tens? Yes, she could have. It would not have changed the value. However, it might be tricky later if you have to carry numbers. The next student is Pat. Pat's work is a little different. You can see how he had to add 1/100th over to this column to get 11 and 48/100ths. He did this to make sure or to know that it's a more round number to add, and some people find that easier. After he had 11 and 40/100ths plus 14 and 27/100ths, he added those together, and then once he got the answer, he knew he had to go back and take away the 1/100th he added at the beginning to get the final answer of 25 and 66/100ths. Now, after you've seen my work and two other students, I want you to go back and look at your work to see how you solved it. Think about your thinking. Did you get the answer correct? Did you get it incorrect? If so, why and how could you have solved it? Or how can you correct your work? Remember, it is okay to be wrong as long as we are learning from what we're doing and then see how we can rework the problems. Be ready to share your problem-solving method in class tomorrow. See you then.